Welcome everybody, it's Tellum, and in this video we are going to be looking at the brand new trailer for The Darkest Shore, of course the new zombies map inside DLC 1, and we're just going to be breaking down everything inside of it. We'll touch on a couple things that are mentioned because those are kind of interesting, but really that's only one thing, but the rest we're just going to be going through it, finding anything we can, just pointing it out. Now at the start of this, it's actually kind of interesting because you see this guy wrapped up in these chains, and of course it looks like when you open the door that the chains are going to pull him apart. Now as for who this guy is, I have no idea. I at first thought it was Klaus, but it looks like that is not Klaus, so I'm not exactly sure who this is. I'm not sure if he'll even be important on who this is, or maybe he'll become the special zombie that they were teasing at earlier on, because we're just not sure right now, and all we know is that this guy's going ripped in half once this door behind him is opening. And I'm wondering if that's actually going to be a thing for us when we're actually playing the map. Like, are we going to be opening doors, but we have to know at the cost of opening this door, it's going to kill somebody on the other side? Maybe they're going to be doing something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but of course, we'll have to see when we finally get the map. But that does look kind of unfortunate that the guy is getting torn in half though. Then we get this clip of the hallway, and there's nothing really to point out except in the background you do see the shield thing in the background, just to point that out. We'll probably see the shield thing, the same exact one, multiple times in this trailer, because I'm pretty sure they show this same exact hallway multiple times. Now this clip right here, I didn't notice anything the first time I watched it through, but if you actually look in the background behind it saying a Sledgehammer Games production, you could see our characters walking right here. And why I think this is important is because I didn't think we were actually going to be towards the beach area of this map, so it's actually surprising to see that we're actually going to be able to access that part of the map. But of course we'll see how much that is accessible when we actually get it. Now we see this shadow figure here, but I'm not exactly sure who it is, but if I had to guess, I'd imagine that's Straub. He's probably going to be around the map somewhere again, just again doing who knows what, but he's probably going to be there. And then we see this really interesting clip because we can see some mechanical thing, I guess a machine on the left side, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. I don't see it any other times inside the trailer, but it looks kind of important. Obviously it looks like something we've never seen before, but it just looks interesting. I guess it's worth pointing out. But also in the background you see some guy hanging there, of course with it looks like chains again like around him. So maybe another one of those ways to access it, you have to buy him, maybe tear the person apart or something like that. Also that is leading outside because you can see the birds and the fog and everything, and it doesn't seem like it looks the same right there. And right here we actually see a couple things. We see the fog rolling in, of course the fog's rolling in, and it looks like the fog isn't going to be there all the time, but it's going to roll in. But also when it goes by this one AA gun, you can actually see there's a wall by right here. I can't make out what it is, but of course it is a wall by. Now this clip is actually kind of interesting because we see our characters walking through the fog. It doesn't look like that many zombies are chasing them. Of course you do see like maybe the intelligent zombie that they were talking about maybe is going after them, but it also looks like when it's foggy the zombies aren't as active. It looks like you have to walk by them or make some sort of sound. At least that's what's being suggested here in the trailer. So maybe that's how the zombies are going to work inside the fog. We're not entirely sure. I'd much rather prefer that than the normal zombies mechanics because that would be such a pain. So this would be cool as long as it's temporary, because at first when I saw this fog thing I was thinking nah, I don't want none of that, dude. That's just not my thing. So that is just one thing that I'm kind of being optimistic about. I'm hoping it's going to end up like that, but of course we'll have to see when we actually get the map. Also when inside this clip you actually see a trap in the background, just a trigger to activate it. Not too sure what it activates, but it's there. And also a couple frames later you can see another wall by. Again, I cannot exactly make out what it is though. Now this next part gets even more interesting because you see that there's planes flying over, and these planes actually damage the zombies. At first I thought, well, maybe it's going to be a trap or something like that, but then you see our characters shooting down these planes, which is kind of interesting because I just don't know exactly what's going on right there. I guess the planes are also bad, and I guess they hurt both you and the zombies, so that's going to be kind of interesting. Hopefully, maybe when you're shooting these things, it gives you time to shoot them instead of having to be chased by the zombies. Maybe the zombies ignore you when you're on this, because if it doesn't, it is going to be such a pain. I've always hated steps like that inside zombies where you have to be completely, I guess, defenseless doing one thing and have zombies still chasing after you. It's just so dumb. Hopefully, it does look like there's no zombies chasing him, but again, they could just be doing that for the trailer. Also, a couple of frames back, you can actually see that there's another wall by right here, so that's also cool to mention. Now we see this underground area for the first time, because mainly we've been seeing over the ground, I guess on surface. That's probably the right way to use that word, use that saying, or it's not even saying, but whatever. We do see this, and we see a statue right here, and we'll come back to the statue in a bit because I want to talk about what Dr. Straub said right there. But then of course we see this zombie being pulled up here, and this kind of looks like a bomber zombie, and I think it is, and I think what they're trying to make us think is that it's actually one of those zombies that are the intelligent zombies that they're teasing at, which is just going to be a bomber zombie. Maybe it's a cool way to spawn them in, because you're probably going to need it for something that we'll get into just a little bit, but of course maybe we're going to need something like that. Anyways, on this frame again, in this undergroundish area, you could actually see a couple things. You could see 2 triggers for traps, and then a walled by in the back, so that's also quite interesting. And those traps probably activate this trap that we see right here, just tearing apart the zombies with the fan, but besides that, nothing else to really mention there. Now again, we're going to be seeing this area, and like I said, this looks like the hall that we saw earlier, and you can also see the shield bind thing again. It's awkward that I haven't noticed any perks, but only the same shield thing pretty much. But anyways, continuing on, we see this, and this is when the zombies are chasing me. You might have missed this one, and I don't know how to feel about this one returning, because if you guys look in the background, the still image I'm going to hold right here, you can actually see there's one of the battery charging areas. So it looks like we're going to be charging batteries again in some way again. Hopefully they don't do the copy paste thing like they did. Well, I guess they haven't done it before, but hopefully they don't copy and paste this time, and just that's how you get your weapons or something like that. I doubt it, but of course we'll see when we actually get the map. But go ahead and tell me what you guys think about that, because right after that, and this is the reason why I doubted that being for our weapons, is because we see the wonder weapon on the map. Now there may be other ones, but we do see this wonder weapon, and it looks like it could both be used for shooting, and it could also be used for just going up and killing them, like the smiley from Raven the Redwoods. But of course nobody's used it yet, so I can't say anything for certain. Here's one clip right here where we actually see a different hallway, but with another shield bind area, so there's another one of those. And then right here we keep getting teased this new zombie that they're bringing up, and of course we finally get a good clip of it right here. So he looks pretty interesting. His eyes kind of look bluish, his tongue's insanely long. He kind of looks like a bomber zombie, but of course he's not a bomber zombie, but still he looks pretty interesting, and we'll have to see how intelligent this zombie is when we finally get it. And then this trailer ends off quite interesting. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, because I hope it is what I'm thinking it is, and what I think it is the intro for the map, because this looks very cinematic compared to everything else in the game. Obviously the game doesn't look as well as it does right here because this is a cinematic, and this is rather going to be for the outro or the intro, but I highly doubt it's for the outro. Of course they could have some other clips somewhere in there, but again, doubt that. So it's probably going to be for the intro, and I cannot wait to see that intro. Hopefully they release the intro before the map comes out, where we can just see what we're getting, or where this thing's all being set up, or how we got here, just something like that I'd like to see. But that's about it for all the clips part of it. Now I want to play you guys a clip of something Dr. Straub said during the trailer. So I'll play it right now, and of course I'll come right back and talk about it.
This island is a place rich with the history of dead gods.
So as you guys heard, there was Dr. Straub saying the island has a history of, I believe he said dead gods, so that's interesting that it said dead gods. Unless I'm mishearing, then just completely black that out and just say, hey, he's not saying dead gods. But if he is, it could actually relate to the story, or I guess the myths from this island that used to exist. Well, I guess the myths still exist, but were originated a really long time ago. So maybe they're going to be relating like that, and it's kind of interesting because I thought they were going to continue the Barbarossa thing throughout the entire game, but it looks like we may be getting something new every map, or a mixture of everything until we reach the end, or whatever's going to happen. And so it's actually quite interesting, and if you guys want to see me make a video on talking about what these gods that he's talking about are, then of course go and tell me, and I will do that. But anyways, that's about it from this video. Tell me what you guys thought about this trailer. You guys liking what you're seeing? Also tell me if I missed anything. If you did, just go ahead and tell me down in the comments. But anyways, that's about it for me. If you guys did enjoy this video and left a thumbs up, subscribed if you weren't, bell if you hadn't, and shared, especially sharing and watching the video multiple times over. Those two are the absolute best you could do. Nobody does the second one, but at least you could share it with somebody else. But anyways, that's about it for me, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.